I chose to study at Cranfield because I have a military background in logistics and operations. And when I started looking for an MBA to study at, specifically in Europe, Cranfield rose to the top of the pile. The teachers here have immense experience in the subject matter that I find to be extremely important to my career, and the quality of the recruiters that come here, specifically in the realms that I was interested in, really drew me in. And finally, the size of the class was really important to me. I wanted to have a small class, but yet one large enough, diverse enough that would improve the classroom experience. And Cranfield has met all of those requirements, hands down. I chose to take a one-year MBA primarily because I didn't want to spend the extra money. When I left my previous job, I took a year off to do some volunteer work in South America and then spent a few months learning French in France. And so, taking into consideration that I'm a little bit older than your average MBA and the fact that I wanted to do something for me in that 2-year time period, the one-year MBA was the perfect choice. The advantages of studying for an MBA in Europe, specifically as an American, is the fact that you have recruiters coming to Cranfield specifically to recruit for positions in the UK and in Europe. Secondly, you can't beat London. I think Oscar Wilde has said that when one has grown tired of London, one has grown tired of life. And whenever you need that break from school, heading down to London just down the way, it's the perfect rejuvenating experience. And finally, having the ability to go via plane or via the Eurostar and being on the continent and within an hour, it adds a diversity of experience I don't think I could have experienced in the States. When somebody asks what the biggest highlights are of attending Cranfield, I have to kind of put them into two categories, personal and professional. Personally, I've made some outstanding friends from all over the world. I tend not to think of Cranfield as the UK because I think only 10 of my classmates are actually from the UK. And so it's been a good experience having new friends from everywhere. Professionally, because we're a small school but also a well-regarded school, we are fortunate enough to be invited to a lot of competitions. And so I've been on the A.T. Kearney Global Case competition where I made it to the European finals. I was also on the Venture Capital Investment competition team that made it to the European final in London. Beyond that, I just got back from a weekend trip to HEC in Paris for the MBA tournament. We spent 3 days with the top business schools from around Europe and had a lot of fun making new friends and playing sports. If somebody asked me, especially from the States, why I should come here, I would say hands down the professors. They're outstanding. I'm willing to bet that most schools say that, so I'll give you another bit. If you say Cranfield in the States, nobody's ever heard of it. But once you actually look at the rankings and look at the school through the lens of a UK or a European business, it rapidly becomes one of the top schools that they recruit from, both because of the soft skills from the leadership development that we receive, as well as from the technical skills from an operational, supply chain, financial side. And so I think it's a mistake that a lot of Americans overlook Cranfield just because they've never heard of it. I think it's a bit of a hidden beauty, and once you know what it provides and offers you, I think you'll be very impressed.